So before giving you the floor, Sean is an accomplished leader with extensive experience in commercial management, project management, innovation, research, and design. He has more than 20 years of experience and expertise in the maritime industry across multiple sectors, and a proven track record of leading and delivering complex and challenging projects with significant technical challenges and financial responsibility. Sean today is a registered European engineer, chartered marine engineer, and practicing international professional engineering. Thank you again, Sean, for your availability, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Tommaso, and thank you for the kind words and introduction. So yes, good afternoon, good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us for this first webinar between the SEABAT and Current Direct projects. As Tommaso says, my name is Sean White and I'm the Technical Project Manager for Current Direct. And as we've heard, this is a really innovative project funded under the European Union Horizon 2020 project. I'm going to use this time together over the next 10-15 minutes really to introduce you to this project and explain how we intend to electrify inland waterway and coastal shipping sectors through an innovative swappable container battery system and an energy as a service platform. Next slide, please, Tommaso. So Peter's done a great job in framing the challenge, and as we know, waterborne transportation is really a truly essential to moving goods and people around the world, and it's a vital element of global trade and drives economic growth in many areas. However, despite the many years of progress, and there has been much progress to report on, the industry still remains an important source of greenhouse gas emissions and other harmful pollutant emissions to water and to air. And as Peter says, today, over 13% of all greenhouse gas emissions in the transport sector within the European Union can be attributed to waterborne transport, which itself accounts for 2.5% of the global greenhouse gas emissions challenge. So it's clear that continued action is needed to reduce the environmental impact from the maritime industry and to play its part in turning Europe into a climate neutral continent, achieving the EU goal of a 50% reduction of emissions by 2050, with that long-term goal of phasing out greenhouse gas emissions entirely by the end of the century. So Current Direct is really positioned to revolutionise waterborne transport, overcoming some of the main challenges identified by the European Commission in the call. Specifically, we will look to address some of the market-specific safety certification and regulatory requirements that all lead to a higher increased cost and increased barriers to entry. We'll look to address the supporting infrastructure, as Peter says, that facilitates fast charging on the shore side and energy transfer between shore facilities and vessel facilities. And also we'll look to address the lack of drivers that enable economies of scale to accelerate market adoption within the maritime industry. So as we've heard, the Current Direct project is in response to the European Commission call to action to reduce the cost of large batteries for waterborne transport. Our overarching aim of the project is to develop and demonstrate an innovative interchangeable waterborne transport battery system with an energy as a service platform, and we will demonstrate this in an operational environment that facilitates that fast swapping, fleet optimization and novel business models. Our aims on the project to address the call to action will be to significantly reduce the total lifetime cost of waterborne transport batteries through novel materials, manufacturing processes and optimized components. This will help to cut greenhouse gas emissions of the marine transport sector through high electrification of existing vessels in the fleet and also for new builds. We will increase dramatically the installed energy of containerized energy storage systems compared to today's currently available systems. All of this together is intended to trigger investment for innovation, employment and knowledge creation in the European marine transport and battery sectors. So the implementation of Current Direct project will substantially reduce the cost of today's energy storage systems, and our aim is to be at cost parity or below the cost of conventionally powered business as usual waterborne transport solutions. Achieving this will considerably accelerate the market adoption of zero emission technology from a niche nice to have to a new business as usual scenario. We will achieve this on the project through the realization of 8 strategic objectives, and I'll walk through those and give you a bit of color as to what each one will achieve. So objective number 1 is to develop a waterborne transport cell designed specifically for the needs of the waterborne transport industry. Through this, we will increase energy density and reduce production costs compared to transport cells from other sectors like automotive or grid energy storage. Objective number 2 will be to develop a certified waterborne transport battery system. And with this, we will double the installed energy density of current best-in-class maritime battery systems. Objective number 3 is to develop a certified integration standard between the swappable battery solution and as wide a range as possible of vessel power topologies, energy management and power management systems. Objective number 4 is to develop a standardized shore infrastructure requirements that facilitate and support the swapping and charging operations of the swappable battery system. And this infrastructure will both be flexible and scalable by design. Objective number 5 is to develop a novel energy as a service business and financing model that incorporates cloud-based dynamic pricing, remote battery analytics, and fleet optimization solutions. Objective number 6 is to develop a marine battery certification methodology to validate and verify safety, along with establishing standardized test methods and tools aimed at reducing the overall costs of battery certification in the maritime industry. Objective number 7 is to prove all of these components together in a holistic ecosystem on a demonstrator vessel in the port of Rotterdam through a 12-month demonstration period in real service operational conditions. And finally, and I'm pleased with today's event, we will disseminate our activities and share our results to our partners, friends, and an international audience across the maritime industry to raise awareness of this project and the call to reduce the costs of battery systems for waterborne transportation. Next slide, please. So we can't do this alone, and we've composed a consortium of many stakeholders and advisory board members, and these have been carefully selected to develop and demonstrate the innovative technologies and business models that we seek to employ. The diverse consortium incorporates 13 experienced and highly organized companies across 9 different countries within Europe. All of these partners provide expertise and experience in their specialist fields, especially concerning best-in-class in the maritime industry and battery manufacturing sector. Additionally, we're really pleased to have a very strong external advisory board, including companies like Carnival Corporation, the Port of Rotterdam, Vattenfall, Engie, Sogerstrand Group, and the IVR Association. All of these partners have a direct interest in the success of the project and will help steer the project towards maximum exploitation and commercialization. So our timeline is divided into 5 major phases across 3 years, starting in 2021, January this year, where we kicked off the project. Through phase 1, our goal is to build solid specifications and develop design requirements through industry engagement and a deep understanding of the requirements for battery applications in the inland waterway and coastal shipping fleet. In phase 2, the components of the swappable battery system and energy as a service platform will be designed and tested and validated against our specifications and requirements. During phase 3, we will work comprehensively to develop an analysis into current maritime battery standards, to develop a standardized certification methodology that we would look to harmonize and unify through the IACS organization across the maritime industry. Throughout phase 4, we will conduct system integration testing to ensure that all the components, subsystems, and systems work cohesively together in a harmonious way. And then in phase 5, throughout the duration of 2023, we will demonstrate all of these elements together as described in the Port of Rotterdam with our partner Kotug on their demonstrator vessel. This will prove an excellent platform where we can share the results of the project, host industry days, and invite other interested stakeholders and partners to come and witness firsthand a swappable battery solution. Thinking to what Peter described, we're hoping that and we're confident that the successful demonstration of the Current Direct project will realize a commercial entity that can take forward this innovative technology and exploit it within the maritime industry, particularly within Europe and the rest of the world. Next slide, please. So to give you 2 cornerstones of the project, we'll talk a little bit about the swappable battery solution, and then again about the energy as a service platform. So the swappable battery solution, what this really means is that when an electric vessel arrives at a container swapping station, instead of having the arduous task of connecting to a shore charging infrastructure and charging the vessel from shore, the battery swapping operation occurs where the discharged battery container is unloaded off the vessel and swapped with a container that has been charged on shore in advance of the vessel's arrival. The loaded charged battery provides the battery to vessel power and energy for the vessel's onward journey, whilst the offloaded battery can then be charged and connected to the grid at a time that suits us at a price that is best and optimal for passing on that price to the end user. After each container swapping operation, this brings in the platform of the energy in a service, which calculates the service fee that the end user pays, which is assembled by a predetermined fixed fee and a specific battery to vessel operating costs. This removes the burden for the end user of CapEx investment in battery technology and moves the cost over to an operational cost expenditure facilitated by the energy as a service platform. The Current Direct swappable containers are designed to provide 1 megawatt of power and will provide a total installed energy of 3 megawatt hours minimum. This is all fitted within a standard ISO 20-foot container form factor. We're confident, and our initial investigations support this, that this amount of swappable clean energy is sufficient to enable absolute zero emission operations of many applicable inland waterway and coastal shipping vessels for voyages of tens of hours over hundreds of kilometers on the inland waterway network and coastal shipping networks. The cloud-based energy as a service platform is going to pave the way for the sustainable battery swapping business model. And this ensures that the end user has the clean energy needed when they need it at a competitive price comparable to today's business as usual. To do this, the platform will tackle the optimal charging and discharging scheduling of the swappable batteries. The platform will manage the battery supply planning between the vessels and the swapping stations along the network. And the platform will also incorporate practices of revenue management intending to provide end users, investors, and owners with a sustainable swapping business model. So to summarize, in comparison to today's state of the art, we will increase the installed energy density by over 300%, and we will seek to reduce the cost of the associated systems by up to 50% when compared to today's state of the art systems. We believe that this directly addresses the challenge put to us, which is to reduce the overall cost of large waterborne battery solutions. Next slide, please. So I'll talk a little bit about the shore infrastructure as well. So to facilitate the swapping operation, clearly there is a lot of shoreside infrastructure. This includes both connection to the utility and grid for charging the containers. It includes the swapping operation itself, so this could be overhead gantry cranes, extended reach vehicles. And then we have the vessel side as well. Our challenge with the swapping interfaces and topologies is to ensure that we can support as diverse a range of vessel types as possible to maximize the exploitation of the swappable battery solution. As part of our investigation into the interfaces and topologies, we are analyzing both shoreside and vessel side state-of-the-art rules and regulations, and combining these together to develop a standardized certification, regulatory approach and methodology that can be brought to the industry and remove barriers that we couldn't currently see with using a maritime swappable battery for grid services. Next slide, please. So the demonstrator we will show during the course of 2023 aims to validate our concept, aims to validate the swappable battery solution, and aims to validate the energy as a service platform in an operational environment in the Port of Rotterdam. This will provide proof of concept for fast container swapping, fleet optimization, and the novel business and investment models. With the selection of the site, we will be able to make use of existing port infrastructure already in place, so demonstrating the use of existing craneage, grid connections, microgrid facilities, and for charging stations and access to renewable energy sources. During the demonstration, we will also seek to show the swappable battery solution alongside other future alternative zero-emission solutions. So a couple of examples here would be showing a true zero-emission operation mode, where maybe the vessel is powered entirely by a swappable battery solution. A hybrid mode, recognizing that there will be a transition where we may operate in parallel with internal combustion engines, high efficiency stage 5 engines for the inland waterway network. And a hybrid plus operation mode, where we can demonstrate a swappable battery solution alongside swappable alternative fuel sources, such as containerized hydrogen fuel cells, operated at the same time to provide the maximum flexibility to the end user and the operator. As part of this, we will also seek to engage with other industry and other collaboration projects, and we're aware of a number of other swappable solutions out there where we are actively engaged to harmonize standards and requirements. So finally, thank you everybody for your time. Thank you for listening, and thank you to the organisers for this opportunity to share our project. We're genuinely excited at the potential that our project has to unlock mass exploitation of electrification of inland waterway vessels and coastal shipping. Please do follow us. Please ask any questions you may have. We would gladly field those. In particular, we're looking to continue our engagement with end users, vessel owners and operators, shipyards and potential investors. Anybody who would like to be part of the electric revolution for inland waterway and coastal shipping transportation. Thank you.